Hare Krishna. Let's start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Kindly accept my humble obeisances. And I request all your mercy and blessings. So kindly give your causeless mercy so that I can give justice to the given subject. Even though I'm not qualified, but I'm begging for your mercy. Hare Krishna. Thank you. We will do the Mangalacharan. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahajana Raghunathanvitam Samsajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. My humble obeisance to all the assembled Vaishnavas and praying and begging for your mercy. Hare Krishna. We will go to Madha Lila. This topic is very elevated topic, but by the mercy of Vaishnava, I would like to attempt this. I can't do justice because it is so too much high subject, high philosophy, but I will try because this portion is all the Mangala Charan. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is doing the Mangala Charan. We will go with the chapter 1, Madha Lila, chapter 1, topic named as the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My voice is audible.
Yes, Madha.
Thank you.
Yes, Madha.
Thank you. Thank you, Madha. Okay, chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this chapter, there is a summary description of all the pastimes performed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the middle period of activities, as well as the 6 years at the end of his activities. All of these are described in brief. There is also a description of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy that occurred when he recited the verse beginning Ya Kaumara Haraha, as well as a description of how that ecstasy was explained in the verse beginning Priya So I Am Krishna by Srila Rupa Goswami. because he wrote that verse, Srila Rupa Goswami was specifically blessed by the Lord. There is also a description of the many books written by Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami. There is also a description of the meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatana Goswami in the village known as Ramakeli. So this later pastimes, and in this chapter it describes all this in brief. And we are going to text one Mangalacharan. Yasya prasadat agnopi sadhya sarvagnitam braje sa Shri Chaitanya Devo me Bhagavan samprasidato. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Even a person with no knowledge can immediately acquire all knowledge simply by the benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I am praying to the Lord for his causeless mercy upon me. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is a very prolific scholar. His Kaviraj, his name has been, Kaviraj has been awarded to him by Srila Jiva Goswami, who is a very erudite scholar, and he is a very wonderful, devoted, wonderful Goswami. He is awarding this title, honorific title as Kaviraj to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Kaviraj means is the king of all the poets. So it's the poet, the king of all the poet is humbly begging the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and is praying for his causeless mercy so that he can accomplish his task. Text 2. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandau Sahoditau Gaudodaye Pushpavantau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. So he's like offering obeisances. Like a Mangalacharan, Mangalacharan should have the three aspects. Like it should have an objective. Whenever a poet, whenever a devotee is praying, performing Mangalacharan, there are three aspects in it. First is that they should have an objective, and they should pay obeisances, and it also should have benedictions. So all these characteristics we can find here. In the first itself, he is giving a benediction like if the person who is without any knowledge also can become knowledgeable simply by benediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his causeless mercy. And he is paying obeisances to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. Why they have come? He's saying they have come at the same time. It's like it doesn't happen. Usually the sun and moon can't come at the same time, but the Lord is inconceivable. They can perform any acts. So sun and moon, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they have come as a sun and moon in the horizon, so that the ignorance, all the ignorance of the people, to destroy all the ignorance and to become and to enlighten them with the knowledge and with the bhakti, they have wonderfully, they are bestowing the mercy upon all of us. To bestow the mercy, they have come at a time to dissipate the darkness of ignorance. And text 3. Jayatam suratau pangor mama mandamate gati mat sarvasva padambojau Radha Madana Mohanau. Translation. Glory to all merciful Radha and Madana Mohanam. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Text 4. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadruma Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prishtalibi Sevyamanau Smarami. Translation. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavana, underneath a desired tree, Sri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. This sloka reminds me of Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dama Ratana Mandira Manuhara. Here it's also said that it's jewels, the temple of jewels. Divya Divya Chintamani, it's all made up of, Vrindavana is made up of all the jewels. So here, there, Lord Sri Radha Madhava is situated with the confidential servants in an effulgent throne. So he is offering his obeisances unto them also. We will discuss about why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is paying obeisances to Sri Radha Madana Mohan, Radha Govinda, and Radha Gopinathji. Text 5. Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastita Karshan Veno Swanair Gopi Nata Shriyestunaha. Translation: May Gopinath Ji, who attracts all the gopis with the song of his flute and who has begun the most melodious rasa dance, the bank of the Yamuna, is Vamsi Vata. Be merciful upon us. Also, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions that, and he's praying to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Gopinathji attracts all the gopis to his union. He also begs for the mercy of all the audience. Whoever is reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, let that Lord be merciful upon all the readers and give them the benediction of getting the pure devotional service. And text 6. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Kripa Sindhu, Jaya Jaya Sachi Sutta, Jaya Dina Bandhu. Translation: All glories unto Sri Gaurahari, who is an ocean of mercy. All glories unto you, the son of Sachi Devi, for you are the only friend of all fallen souls. Text 7. Jaya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Sri Vasadi, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories unto Lord Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. Text 8. Purveka hilo nadi lila rasutra gana yaha vistari echena dasa vrindavana. Translation: I have previously described in synopsis the Adi Lila initial pastimes, which have already been fully described by Vrindavan Dasa Thakur. Text 9. Atayeva tarami sutra matra kailu ekichu vishesha shudra madhyehi kahilun. Translation: I have therefore given only a synopsis of those incidents, and whatever specifics were to be related have already been given in that synopsis. Text 10. Ebeka he shesha lilara mukhya sutra gana Prabhura Sesha Lila Nayaya Varnana. To describe unlimited pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not possible, but I now wish to relate the chief incidents and give a synopsis of those pastimes occurring at the end. Text 11 to 12. Tara Madhye Bada Dasa Vrindavana Chaitanya Mangale Vistari Karila Varnana. Se bagera ihan sutra matra likiba tahane visesha kichu ihan vistariba. I shall describe only in synopsis that portion which Vrindavana Das Thakur has described very elaborately in his book Chaitanya Mangala. Whatever incidents are outstanding, however, I shall later elaborate. Text 13. Chaitanya Lila Vyasa Dasa Vrindavana Tandra Agnaye Karun Tandra Uchishta Charvana. Translation: Actually, the authorized compiler of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srila Vrindavana Dasa, the incarnation of Vyasadeva. Only upon his order am I trying to chew the remnants of food that he has left. Hare Krishna. Also text 14. Bhakti kari shire dari tanhara charana sesha lilara sutra gana kari varnana. Translation: Placing his lotus feet upon my head in great devotion, I shall now describe in summary the Lord's final pastimes. So, in this, we should understand the first 14 verses, we can understand, we should know why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami is paying obeisances to all the three principal deities, as well as and who has ordered him to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and why he is mentioning Vrindavan Das Thakura as the Das, like he is the Vyasadeva of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Lila. So before going to that, I'm going to just go into a brief description of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, so that if we get attachment to the author, we can understand more about his work, and as well as we can get, by his mercy, we can get the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is an eternal servant. It's been mentioned as, he's been mentioned as Kasturi Manjari, also Ratna Rekha in Gaura Gano Desha Deepika. So he's always an eternal servant. He was born in Bengal. His father was Bhagirath, and his mother's name is Sunanda. He has a son, he has a brother called Shyamadasa. Okay, so in this description, we are going to see how Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has got attachment to Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like we understood that he is already an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During the 6 years, when Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was 6 years old, he lost his father. And from that incident, he got great, he was very much detached from the material world. And later he moved to his mother's house, and there he was brought. And he was always longing for the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya. And he was always having a mercy, he was always longing for the love of Lord Godhead. And when he was about 90 years old, Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu appears in his dream, and he says, please go to Vrindavana, and whatever you desired, your mind's desire will be fulfilled when you reach Vrindavana. So he is already detached, and he renounces everything, and he moves to Vrindavana. Before that, we will understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know he is a Mahavadanyaya avatar. He appeared in this Kali Yuga to deliver all the people and to bestow the best benediction of Krishna Prema. In this version, Adi Lila, we got in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Before Chaitanya Charitamrita was written, Vrindavana Das Thakura has written about Chaitanya Bhagavata, where Chaitanya Bhagavata, it was already known, it was known as Chaitanya Mangala, and later it was named to Chaitanya Bhagavat. He covered, Srila Vrindavana Das Thakura has covered all the Balya Leelas, all the childhood pastimes, up to childhood pastimes, and also up to first 24 years, he has covered all the pastimes in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. And because the book became so voluminous, he gave all the Madha Lila, and after 24 years, like after accepting the sannyasa, he just gave a synopsis of all those pastimes happened during the 24 years. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in this planet for 48 years. First 24 years he's remained as a grihastha, and all those pastimes were being covered in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Dasa Thakura. So here we understood Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is going to Vrindavana, and there he is getting association of Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is staying in Puri during those period with his close associate like Ramananda Raya, Swarup Damodar, and Raghunatha Das Goswami. All those incidents have been recorded. Whatever pastimes, whatever his teachings were being recorded by Swarup Damodar Goswami during the Puri pastimes, and he is recorded in everything in Sanskrit, and he kept it everything with him. Once Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from the planet, Swarup Damodar became so morose and very much depressed, and he gave all the notes to Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. And after some period, Raghunatha Das Goswami he worshipped all those verses. He worshipped and prayed, and he memorized all those verses. After some time, Swarup Damodar Goswami also disappeared from the planet. And Raghunatha Das Goswami was very much depressed, and he doesn't want to stay in this material world. What he decided he will go to Vrindavana. And he will leave his body. He will go to Vrindavan and climb the Govardhan, and the cliff of the Govardhan. he is going to leave his body, so that he couldn't tolerate the separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami. And this news has reached all the Goswamis and the other Vrindavan Vasis. They are reaching Vrindavana and pleading and begging to Raghunatha Das Goswami, saying that you are the only person who knows about the intimate pastimes, and whatever pastimes happened in those period in Puri Jagannath, you are the one, you are authorized, and you also been instructed by Swarup Damodar Goswami. So it is your responsibility and it is your service to all the humanity to teach us about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So upon accepting their order by Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, all the Vrindavan Goswamis, he is giving a class about all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Radha Kunda. In Radha Kunda for 3 hours daily is giving the classes in Radha Kunda. One among the audiences, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Many other devotees attended the class. One among them is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is accepting Diksha from Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And after that, what happened? And before writing Srila Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing Srila Govinda Leelamritam. He has got wonderful he is presenting 3 wonderful nectars. First is Sri Govinda Leelamritam, which describes the pastimes and very wonderful pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna. And after reading this pastimes of Sri Radha, Sri Govinda Leelamritam, Sri Jiva Goswami he got wondered and awestruck by those work and literary work in Sanskrit, and he is giving the name Kaviraj to Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The speciality of Srila Jiva Goswami is that he identifies the talent and he encourages the disciples to go to the path. Whatever they're talented, he gives them the way and gives them the order. So he also orders Chaitanya. He is also saying, after reading his Leelamritam, Govinda Leelamritam of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he says, the person who can write about intimate pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna, he is the one who is eligible to write about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is giving an order to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and also other Vrindavan Vasis. He said, you are the one, you attended the classes, daily classes of Chaitanya Charitamrita from Srila Raghunatha Das Goswami at the bank of Radha Govinda, Radha Kunda. You attended the classes and it is your duty as a service. Please write a book about the pastimes of Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And so because of that, he is writing the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He also mentions that all the pastimes, whatever Vrindavana Vyasadeva of Chaitanya is Vrindavana Dasa, but he is saying, I'm going to write whatever he left. I'm not going to touch whatever he touched. I'm going to just write whatever whatever Vrindavana Das Thakur has not touched. I'm going to say all those things. So this is how Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami got the order from all the Vrindavana Vasis and the Goswamis, and he writes. And also after receiving this order, he straightly goes to Radha Madana Mohan temple. Radha Madana Mohan temple, and he is paying obeisances. While he was paying obeisances, he is receiving Radha Madana Mohan. He is giving a garland from his neck. A garland is falling down, and the pujari of the temple, he is giving the mala, which is called Agnya Mala. Agnya Mala to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he is accepting pujari is saying, whatever your mind desired is being accepted and sanctioned by Radha Madana Mohan Dev. So you please proceed with whatever you have been ordered. So from there he goes to, from there he starts and writes. Well, the time he reached, we saw that at the age of 90, he got the order, got the dream from Nityananda Mahaprabhu to go to Vrindavana. And by the time he starts writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, his age was almost 95 years. He's very old. He's saying, I'm ill, I'm lame, I'm deaf and dumb, I can't write. So he is begging the mercy of all the Vaishnavas and all the Acharyas, previous Acharyas, all the Goswamis. From there, he starts the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has been divided as Adi Lila and Sesha Lila. Adi Lila is, as we described, first 24 years when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained as a Grihastha. It has been mentioned where all the pastimes performed in Navadvip, all the pastimes which was performed in Navadvip while he stayed as a Grihastha. And also at the end of 24 years, he renounced and took sannyasa. And the Sesha Lila, which describes 24 years after accepting sannyasa. In the Sesha Lila is again divided as Madhya Lila and Antya Lila. Madhya Lila describes the 6 years of travel from Puri to Bengal to South India and to Vrindavana. Antya Lila explains the pastimes of 18 years which has happened in Puri. Antya Lila also is divided into parts like first 6 years he spent with devotees. With his personal example, he was teaching the Bhakti cult. And the last 12 years, he devoted in relishing the pastimes of Krishna and in separation, like how the gopis got separation mood in Vipralamba stage. That was explained in the Antya Lila part. And also we have in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have 25 chapters. And the first few chapters explains about the review of Sesha Lila. And also we have another topic of his Lord making Puri as his headquarters, and South India tour has been mentioned, and his visit to Vrindavana has been mentioned, and Lord teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is all coming in the Madhya Lila. All these sections comes under the Madhya Lila. In this particular chapter, Madhya Lila chapter 1 has got 287 verses. First 45 verses prelude of the Madhya Lila. Whatever is going to happen in Madhya Lila is explaining in brief. And 46 to 90 verse says about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's absorption in the ecstasy of gopis. And verse number 91 to 248 explains about synopsis of Madhya Lila. And verse number 249 to 287 explains about the synopsis of Antya Lila. So here all this, why in Madhya Lila itself, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining about Antya Lila. Same, he has an anxiety. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was so anxious because he's saying, I'm 95 years old. I'm almost very old. I'm becoming blind. So my senses are not working. So he was so anxious. He says that whether I may be able to live and complete the work of this great work, which is called the magnum opus. This is a very exoteric work of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, which explains about the very high Vaishnava philosophy. And he thought whether if he wouldn't survive, and if he didn't finish the Antya Lila, it is not following the order of his previous authorized acharyas. So he is so anxious, and in between Madhya Lila, he's giving synopsis of Antya Lila also. Same like we can see like Srila Prabhupada, also when he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam, he left Srimad Bhagavatam and he jumps to Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he wanted to present his audience, his disciples, all the Chaitanya Charitamrita, so that whether he also feeling the same condition, whether he will be able to survive and translate those things. So same anxiety, same and acharyas are so anxious to present all the nectar pots for all his disciples. This also we can find in this is a parampara, like parampara they're having. So they're so anxious to teach the disciples about the wonderful pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also in the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says about who has to read, who is eligible to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's saying who is a sincere scholar. Chaitanya Charitamrita is for the sincere scholar who wants to know about the absolute truth. And but because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, whether scholars or beginners, we are eligible to know about the merciful pastimes and to know about the incarnation and pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the great quality of the Vaishnava Acharyas. Though we are not qualified, He's giving the mercy so that we can able to relish the pastimes and get the Krishna Prema. And who can understand? Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, who can understand Chaitanya Charitamrita? He says, one should submit oneself to parampara system, and he should accept the parampara, and he should follow the instruction of the parampara, and then this subject matter can be understood. Otherwise, the subject matter is very difficult to understand. Even if they are very much erudite scholar, even they are very scholar, they may get bewildered if they are not following in line with the parampara. So these are the a brief introduction about the Madha Lila and about the author Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So we covered this till up to this verse. Now we will just go to other verses. We have got time. Till 14th we understood. Also we saw he is praying to Radha Madana Mohan, to Radha Govindaji, and to Radha Gopinathji. See, we can in Vedic literature, the stages of bhakti or stages of devotional service is mentioned as Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. The Sambandha deity, the Sambandha means the one, the person should understand who is he, what is his constitutional position. That constitutional position, once a person understands about the constitutional position, he can understand his real state and his status, what is he. So the constitutional position of a devotee is that a person is that all the jiva is that he is the eternal servant of the servant. So that principal deity for that is Srila Madana Mohana, Radha Madana Mohana. And Acharya for that is Srila Sanatana Goswami. By reading the works of Srila Sanatana Goswami and praying his mercy, we can get the Sambandha Jnana. And Sambandha, next Sambandha is the understanding the relationship of the God and what relationship of God with us. And Abhideya is how we can perform bhakti. So Abhideya Acharya is Srila Rupa Goswami, and the deity is Sri Radha Gopinathji, Radha Govindaji. Sri Radha Govindaji, he mercifully accepts all the services. He acts as a Diksha Guru, he acts as a Shiksha Guru, and directs the disciple directs his devotee how to perform devotional service. He mercifully accepts all the service. By praying to Srila Rupa Goswami and by reading his works, Srila Rupa Goswami's books, we can get the jnana, get the knowledge of Abhideya. And Prayojana. Prayojana is the ultimate aim. Ultimate goal of life is getting the pure devotional service, which is Krishna Prema. The principal deity for that is Sri Radha Gopinathji. Like how Sri Radha Gopinathji is attracting and all the gopis through his flute vibration. So he attracts all the devotees who is sincere. He attracts and bestows him the pure devotional service. And the principal Acharya for that is Srila Raghunath Dasa Goswami. And reading his works and reading his books, and by surrendering and praying to him, we get the Prayojana Jnana. And one disciple should be very much addicted to chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, and should follow the authorities and should accept the order of Sampradaya. And by this Acharya, by this principle, by this means, one can understand all those things. So that's why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami is praying to Sambandha Acharya, Sambandha, like Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Is praying to Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govindaji, and Radha Sri Radha Gopinathji. So till this we covered till up to text 14 and text 16, text 15. Chabisa Vatsara Prabhura Grahe Avasthana Tahane Karila Lila Adi Lila Nama. Translation. For 24 years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at home, and whatever pastimes he performed during that time are called Adi Lila, as we discussed already. First 24 years of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he performed in Navadvip as a Grahastha, is being explained in Adi Lila. Text 16. Chabisha Vatsara Seshe Maga Masa Tara Sukla Pakshe Prabhu Karila Sanyasa. Translation. At the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magha, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, the Lord accepted the renounced order of his life, sannyasa. This Lord accepting the sannyasa was very well explained by His Grace Ramananda Kanaya Prabhu. Wonderfully he explained about the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepting sannyasa at the end of his 24th year in the month of Magha during the fortnight of waxing moon. And text 17, Sannyasa Kariyacha Bisha Vatsara Avastana Tahane Lila Tara Sesha Lila Nama. Translation: after accepting sannyasa, Lord Chaitanya remained within this material world for another 24 years. Within this period, whatever pastimes he enacted are called Sesha Lila, or pastimes occurring at the end. Text 18, Sesha Lila Ramatya Antya Dui Namahaya Lila Bede Vaishnava Sabanama Bedakaya. Translation: the final pastimes of the Lord occurring in his last 24 years are called Madhya, middle, and Antya, final. All the devotees of the Lord refer to his pastimes according to these divisions. Text 19, Tara Madhye Chaya Vatsara Gamana Gamana Nila Chale Gauda Setu Banda Vrindavana. Translation: for 6 years of the last 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled all over India, from Jagannath Puri to Bengal and from Cape Comorin to Vrindavana. In the Madhya Lila, it will explain about the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to spread the Bhakti cult, and he wanted to establish the Sankirtan, which is the Yuga, which is the in this Kali Yuga, Sankirtana Mahayajna is the which is very much required for the this Kali Yuga. So he wanted to establish that Sankirtan Mahayajna, Sankirtan cult, as well as the Bhakti cult. So he is traveling, he is making a tour all over India, so that he is going to bestow his mercy to all the people of the world, all the people all over in India. So from he starts from Jagannath Puri and he goes to Bengal, and from Cape Comorin, which is Kanyakumari in the south end of Tamil Nadu, and also from there he goes and he visits several places. From there he starts and he goes to all the places and also to Vrindavana. So he is not leaving a single place. He wanted to move all the places, and he is establishing the Bhakti cult. Text 20, Tahane Lila Tara Madhya Lila Nama Tara Pache Lila Antya Lila Vedana. All those pastimes performed by the Lord in those places are called Madhya Lila, and whatever pastimes were performed after that called Antya Lila. We already discussed, like Madhya Lila, the middle, like first 6 years, when he is performing when he is going for the tour, that's called Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila, where he remained in Puri and he is giving his association with his close associates like Ramananda Raya, Swarup Damodar, and Raghunath Das Goswami. All those been explained in the Antya Lila. Text 21, Adi Lila Madhya Lila Antya Lila Ara Ebe Madhya Lila Ra Kichu Kari Vistara. Translation: the pastimes of the Lord are divided into 3 periods: the Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Antya Lila. Now I shall very elaborately describe the Madhya Lila. Text 22. Ashtadasa Varsha Kevala Nila Chale Sthiti Apani Achari Jive Shikaila Bhakti. Translation: for 18 continuous years, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Jagannath Puri, and through his personal behavior instructed all living entities in the mode of devotional service. Text 23. Tara Madhye Chaya Vatsara Bhakta Gana Sange Prema Bhakti Pravartaila Nritya Gita Range. Of these 18 years at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 6 years with his many devotees. By chanting and dancing, he introduced the loving service of the Lord. So this, up to this 23 verses, it's explaining about the Sambandha, Videya and Prayojana and all the deities, and he's paying obeisances. He is giving benediction, as well as it explains about the Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakura, and why the reason for writing is Chaitanya Charitamrita, and why he is concentrating on Madha Lila and later pastimes, and why he is giving synopsis in the one Adi Lila, why he is not going in detail with the Adi Lila. And also Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, and he's saying, oh fools, please don't read my book. You go and read the book of Vrindavan Das Thakura, which is Chaitanya Bhagavat. Earlier it was known as Chaitanya Mangal, and later it was renamed as Chaitanya Bhagavat. He is telling, he is the Vrindavan Dasa, he is the Chaitanya for the Chaitanya, like how Srimad Bhagavatam Vrindavan Srila Vyasadeva, he is the Vyasadeva of Chaitanya Lila. So he is telling us, please go and read the work of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and by his remnants, whatever the remnants left over by him, I'm just writing. From this we can understand the humble state of the author, who is Kaviraj, who is not only prolific in Bengali, and he is also very scholarly. He's Kaviraj, he is very prolific in Sanskrit as well as in Bengal. And why he wrote the verses in Bengal? Because he thought this great work of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should be known even to the common people. Usually the Gaudiyas are known or very, very much prolific. It was usually known to be the Bengalis are prolific in Sanskrit, but he doesn't want to miss even a common man, so that he's writing his work he's offering his work in Bengal, so that all of the people should get should not be bereft of the pastimes and mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is my humble presentation, and kindly forgive me if I committed. I know I have committed many mistakes, and I don't know whether I delivered it properly. And I thank everybody for sincerely listening, patiently and sincerely listening. And my foremost obeisances to His Grace Ramananda Kanaya Prabhu, who has given the wonderful chance, and also to His Grace Nitya Narsimha Prabhu, who is organizing all these things, and to my Yatra leaders, and to all my Siksha Gurus, and kindly bless me and forgive me if I done anything, and please correct me if I miss something. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thanks for wonderfully covering the Madha Lila. So you initiated the process and gave a nice overview of what we are going to hear in coming days of Madha Lila. And also you nicely, wonderfully covered the mood of the author. That actually gives kind of a homework for us, that as we are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness in a spiritual line, so how our mood should be. Even such a great scholar, Krishna Goswami says, don't read my son, first go and read the works of Nada Thakura. So such a humble mood of author. This is what we have to understand and learn from reading and discussing this wonderful scriptures. Thank you, Mataji. It's very, very nice to hear all these things from you. So, do we have any questions, comments, dear members?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Very wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We know in the Adi Lila we read when Minakatan Das, the foremost disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, he came to his house. The elder brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he did not pay respect. Though everyone was paying respect, only the Pujari, he did not pay respect, and also the elder brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who was organizing this event, he also did not pay respect to Minakatan Das. And Minakatan Das was angry, and he broke his flute and he left away. So it has created a lot of disturbance in the mind of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he chastised his brother himself. Okay, so when he chastised, so in that night, Nityananda Prabhu came, and he told him to go to Vrindavan. So Was he at that time 90 years old? What I understand, he was young. Then he left for Vrindavan, and there he stayed. And after doing many years of sadhana, then Das Raghunathas Goswami came, and he got his association. Can you please correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the question. I'll just try to attempt it. If I'm wrong, please, the scholars, please correct me. Prabhu, as you said, like he was at 90 years of old, and this incident happened. He is rebuking his brother, and he was very much upset with the brother. During the same day, same night, Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu is appearing in his dream, and he is blessing him, and he is asking him to go to Vrindavan. That time he was 90 years old only, Prabhuji. That is what my understanding, as I heard from the lectures, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful question, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, for answering this. Devotees, if you don't have any more questions, we'll end the session here. And next week we are going to continue here from Grace Nityananda Prabhu. Mataji, you stopped which verse?
Prabhuji,
Which verse you stopped today?
I've covered up to 23 verse, Prabhu. Verse number 23.
Nityananda Prabhu, please note from verse 24 onwards, we'll continue from next week.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. So, Prabhu, it is not a question. So, when are we going to read Chaitanya Mangal? As Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami himself says that you read. So, is it after our Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yeah, since Prabhupada has written Chaitanya Charitamrita, so we have that nectar. So, and also we started this. So we'll conclude Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we'll pray that we will have that opportunity and time for us to continue the discussion. Also, devotees continue to attend.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.